Silicon Valley, Shenzhen, which is also the country's tech innovation center. And today we're going to discuss one of the busiest and hottest words those days. Yes, artificial intelligence, AI. I'm now at the Global Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Summit, one of the leading forums about AI in China. Right now, here in Shenzhen, most of the world's leading AI experts are gathering here trying to touch upon the issues of the future. And right next to me is one of them, Professor Wu Haifeng from the Chinese University of Hong Kong in Shenzhen. So, Haifeng, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay, my name is Wu Haifeng, as you just mentioned about. I'm the research fellow and also professor working at the Shenzhen Finance Institute, CUHK Shenzhen. Yes, and my research area is about the fintech.
And as we're talking, a robot is approaching us. Like you said, it's like a typical robot those days is round form design and some shining lights on it. It can monitor the fire disasters in communities and neighborhoods or in forests or even in the airports. So tell me your impression of your AI deployment.
Well, it's fast tracking, you can see that. Well, the AI, especially in China, in this city, Shenzhen, as you just mentioned about the Silicon Valley of China, actually is making very fast and significant change of that. I mean, you can see the AI robots, which you can touch it, you can see it, you can communicate with that. But also there are many applications of AI in these days. Yeah, for example, AI in the finance application, AI in the other kind of big data applications. So many things. I mean, it's difficult to mention those AI individually, but
it's very interesting that several years ago AI sounds like a remote from us. Nobody knows what AI is.
That's
but
right.
now you can see that with the very intelligent soundboxes from Amazon, from Google, from Siri, we can know that AI is really, really close to us. Like this one, maybe you can see us. Maybe we can see it every day in the near future.
Of course. I mean, well, it doesn't like robots. Actually, there are many AI applications actually already enter in our life. For example, the logistics industry. They're using the AI to accurately allocate where to put the box, where to sending the item to the customer, and which is the shortest route for the machine to send the item to their customer. This is one example. And then in the finance area, finance applications, we can see the smart.
So we can use AI to earn money for us.
Of course, and to detect the fraud for the many government officials, right, using the AI technology, AI kind of application to detect any financial fraud, accounting fraud in the real life, which can help people to recoup their loss from the financial markets and give people more fair and nice environment to invest in the Chinese financial market.
Talking about security, there's not only financial security, but also the public security. Right now, the most widely seen public security AI application in China is facial recognition cameras, like this one. We're now entering the phone of the camera. You can see there are some characters on it saying I'm a gender, I'm a male, but it says my age is from 0 to 18. I'm not looking too young, right?
Amazing, yes.
And you're like 20 years older than me.
Wow. And look a bit older than, yes.
Yeah.
So yes, the facial recognition is one application of AI. As you can see, actually it's running into the many kind of public security areas. So I have a lot of news. There's lots of news about that. So if you are the criminals, right? So you try to hidden yourself. Nowadays it's becoming very hard because as long as people can have your picture before, and there's no way to escape. Many people worry about the facial recognition is kind of invasion of the privacy. But
now let's find some guy to introduce more details. Okay, let's find some guy to introduce this for us. 你好，能给我们介绍一下这个细节吗？
这是我们触景无限公司的开发的一款就是关于识别面部特征的一款软件。然后现在只是展示的是一个特征识别盒，然后具体的我们还有那个面部识别和抓拍分析的那种。
How do you achieve those functions？ 你们怎么实现这些功能的？
我们有自己的指定的算法，然后根据每个人的面部不同的那个。
So you have your own calculation, your own algorithms.
Yeah, we have our own algorithm.
Great, you can speak English.
Yeah.
Keep talking. Yeah.
So what else you want to know about our product?
Has it been commercialized?
Yeah, we always try to make this happen to be commercialized, but from this part to the finance, the new retail, education, and security.
Industries. Yeah, very cool. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
But right now there are many cameras on the streets.
Yes.
They can all detect our facial features in the future.
That's
but
right.
are you worried about the breach of our public privacy? Yeah.
Well, there is no clear cut between the best trade-off between the privacy and the public security, right? So personal safety is also kind of human rights. So if no one wants to live in the very dangerous environments, right? Yeah. So sometimes if you have facial recognition, it's just kind of the innovation of technologies. Like we have the steam machine, we have the computer. There are always kind of trade-off between one thing to another. So we cannot say that because there is a facial recognition technology, there is clearly kind of the privacy invasions, but actually it improves the whole society with security, with the good environments.
Okay. Let's see other interesting applications of the AI. Hello. Very nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I see FIFA, right? FIFA Online or PES 2019. So this is Messi shooting the game. So tell us, what's this about?
This is actually based on the Intel analytics tool, deep learning and AI, big data, deep learning, and the big data analysis unified platform. So,
what's these two screens about?
This is the left is actually about the human player. The human player to control the Messi to shooting, right? And in the right side is actually the machine to imitate the human player to control the Messi to.
Also like another form of deep learning.
Yeah, it's actually just deep learning. Yeah.
In the future, we can make the computer smarter enough to beat us, even in the high level difficulty, right?
Yes, I think so. I think that's also happened, right? Okay.
Thank you. And what's this? Okay, sure.
Recognition or behavior recognition.
Behavior recognition.
Yeah, so it can detect abnormal behavior. So, for example, if you get
it's mostly widely used in
also in public security
in autonomous driving, right?
Well, it's also for the public security area. For example, if you are million people stand in the square, if something like the thing happening, like the people crowd together and they step each others, it can give you early warning. So this area is quite dangerous. So it will send an early signal to the police, and the police will help people to separate the persons there in the square and prevent those tragedy happening.
Can the behavior prediction detection technology be used in finance?
Well,
like you can predict what stocks are people going to buy.
We're using the same theory, but not exactly the methodology. We're using the same theory, right? So, because behavior finance is one of the hot topics in these days. Many people believing that the mathematical model driven the financial market, but indeed the human being actually drive the markets from up and down, right? So, using this behavior detection or the technology, you can predict what is the portfolio manager or investment managers they try to do, what they think, what they try to do, what they will do, and help to get a best position in the finance investment.
Talking about AI, we know that we can see many startups are popping up across China trying to invent their own stories in the entrepreneurship. But as Du Zide, the general secretary of CCF, said this morning that he believed that there is some bubble in the industry right now about AI. Do you agree with him?
Well,
is the market overheated?
It is quite common economic sense, right? So when there is some profits, they always attract the attentions or the money, the investment from this area. So it's quite normal in economic sense. if the market is not that attractive enough, that definitely no bubble. But that's definitely not good for the whole industry. So it's hard to say that. I mean, the bubble is good sometimes. Right? Without the bubble, without the capital driven, without the trial and errors, you can never find out which one is the best technology and application in the future market.
Right now, we've seen many innovations about AI and robotics, and like some restaurants are using robotic waitress to replace human labor. But those kind of innovation is really the kind of one that we really need.
It's definitely improve the productivities. Yes, improve productivities.
Honestly speaking, I don't feel that. A robotic waitress is really more efficient than the human ones.
It's getting better. I mean, without the scenario application, right? Without you use the basic technology in the day-to-day life, you can't improve. Like from the computer, we used to have a very heavy, slow, and inefficient computer. But without those startups, you cannot build up to the giant companies. So it's taking a step, taking progress. We can't say that the existing robot in the restaurant is the best one, but we are getting to that. So that was my conclusion, yes.
And now we are seeing another robot here, a patrolling robot who can secure our safety. 你好，给我们介绍一下这个机器人，它是怎么回事 ？What's this robot about？
中文可以吗？对对，这个就是安哲的一个安防机器人，主要它的功能就是说，一个自主巡逻、实时监控啊，还有语音交互，还有音视频播报之类的。
So this is a patrolling robot who can fill the gap of policemen， 它可以代替警察的一些功能。
对，包括警察，还有一些保安之类的人。
How is 它怎么动呢 ？Can we move? Can we move it?
现在吗
？Remote control， 就我们可以
是遥控的吗？这个？
它是可以遥控，也可以就是说远程控制。也可以声音路径让它自己行走。
So it can have some kind of autonomous driving function, some kind of right. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. Earlier today, this guy told me these patrolling robots are widely used in like places like the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge.
That's right.
And many big airports in China.
Yes.
So we can say that the most popular function of AI is still concentrated on the area of security.
Well, that's right, partially. But my definition of AI is a replacement of the service, human service, but can provide better and more productive service in the society, for the society. That was my definition. Mainly, people think AI is a kind of replacement of human, but I don't agree with that. It is a replacement of the service, and providing better and more efficient to the society actually is the beneficiary to all of the people in the world. So that was my understanding of AI.
We're talking about labor replacement, but most of the jobs that AI is going to replace concentrate on the areas of like low end and low skill required jobs that will make millions of people with low skill sets lose their jobs. I think this is a very big concern for the society.
Well, you asked my research area. Many people worry about AI will replace the labors, but my understanding is when we replace one part, we're getting another part. All right, so like people invent the machine, the what invent the machine, right? People worry about when we invent machine, no one doing the textile jobs. But actually, after 200 years, we found people doing more advanced job and getting more kind of benefits from the machine itself. So it depends on how we look at the society, how we look at the innovation of technologies. Having said that, there was a research talking about although AI will replace 900 million jobs worldwide,
900 million jobs worldwide,
but it can create 1.2 billion jobs in the futures. I mean, you don't need people to do the labor. People can focus on more intelligent, intensive industries like computer software.
That would require many, many more people going to universities to learn how to use AI.
People become more smarter and more healthier.
See this car?
Yes.
Oh, inside I think this is Mr. Zhang from Microsoft Asian Institute. He's talking about his latest studies of AI. Okay, and we're seeing a car, a very special car, a driverless car, right, with autonomous driving function. And what's that above the car?
The sensor.
Sensor.
Sensor, yes. It can. Well, the this day sensor is very big.
Yeah.
Looks quite well, not that smart enough. But with time passage, I think the sensor will be much smaller, smarter, and not that obvious.
你好，能给我们介绍一下吗？这个。你好 ，Could you please introduce this special device for me？ 帮我们介绍一下这个设备吧。
激光雷达的话，我们是给机器人，包括给我们的车辆提供一个环境感知，就相当于作为人的眼睛一样，感知了整个周边的环境。
This device is a laser radar.
Yeah.
Which is like an eye to the car.
Yes,
help
yes.
The car to see the surrounding environment,
Yes,
right?
Yes. 然后可以提供一个自动驾驶、无人驾驶的一个环境啊，对。
But my question is, I'm a consumer. Will it make the car cheaper or with higher prices?
是的，啊，
会让它更
能够让它更加的智能，能够实现无人化啊，然后智能化。啊，对，然后我们的激光雷达的话，目前展出的是我们最新款的128线产品，加上我们的补盲的激光雷达，然后能够使周边的一个环境充分的感知，减少我们的盲区。
Okay, so this is your latest cutting-edge product with 128 rays of radar. I don't know how to translate, but it's kind of like this. But my question is, will it make it cheaper or more expensive？ 它会让车更加便宜吗？还是更加贵呢？
这个不会让车更加便宜，但是它能够给我们的人的出行带来更加便捷、便利的一个生活方式。我们可以解放我们的双手啊，我们不需要自己去开车，我们可以在车上看书，或者是听音乐，或者是做其他的事情。
It's like Tesla's autopilot, but autopilot we know is only a partial regularization of the autonomous driving. 特斯拉的那个 autopilot 只是自动驾驶的一部分功能。那你觉得 how far are we from the real autonomous driving？ 我们离真正的自动驾驶还有多远？
我们其实现在已经能看到很多的智能驾驶能够在一些路上在跑，包括有一些落地的一些运营场景，包括一些封闭的一些场景，其实已经有。对，
你看一看里面吗？Okay. Now let's take a look inside of this car. It has many screens. What are those screens for? 它这些屏幕是干嘛的？
这个主要是进行内部的一些对环境的一些检测和测试用。对，因为我们正式上路的话，我们会将这些屏幕取消掉。
Oh, so this is a testing car. Those screens and computers are help the coders and engineers to help develop a car into a better condition. So how do you feel about the autonomous driverless car? Will you buy one in the future?
Yeah, definitely. If 99% of population to purchase the driverless car, if you are only one people to drive the car, you are definitely the outlier and definitely put yourself in the risk.
Yeah, absolutely. But we know that the dominant force in the autonomous driving laser market is an American company called Velodyne, right? RoboSense is a rising startup in China. 它在中国，我们知道这个自动驾驶市场是 Velodyne 现在占据一个主要主导地位嘛。那么 RoboSense 的一个优势在哪儿呢？
其实 RoboSense 的话是一家自己去研发、设计和制造的一家公司，我们拥有自己的专利和自己的技术。然后我们在国内的话是相当于是比较领先的地位，能够给无人驾驶，包括给机器人提供非常好的一个激光雷达的一个整体的环境感知方案。
Yeah. He just told me that RoboSense is like a very much competent competitor of Velodyne, which can provide a substitute to all of their functions. So he is a leading player in the domestic market. Thank you very much. 谢谢。Talking so much about AI, and do you think that right now, how far away from the real era of AI?
Well, we are getting to the edge of the AI, but very surface part, very just an edge part. We're not getting into there. But, well, I think the speeds of acceleration will getting faster and faster in the future. But so far, we are just at the very surface and very, well, edge level of the AI.
Very edge level, very beginning
of the AI. Yes.
We know that much of the AIs right now relies on deep learning, a very important tool to achieve the intelligence of artificial tools, right? So what's the limit of deep learning?
Well, this question, I put the question like the other way, right? So what is the limit for the processor of the computer? Back to 20 years old, people think, okay, 1.1 gigabyte of the processing computational can process is the limitations. But after now, when you look back what people said 20 years ago, we can laugh about that. So although at this moment, the limitations, the research limitation has kept us to think beyond the current research, but I'm believing that there's no end, no limit for the future development. Yes.
When comparing the AI development between China and the US, many people say that the speed of developing AI in America is much more like stable. But in China, the industry here is very exuberant, but with very ambitious plans, very rushy speed.
Yes.
So how do you think of that? Are we putting ourselves too hard?
Well, the AI or the kind of a computer science, the industry of this one, I can see that US and China in the similar levels, right? Behind like the mechanical industries or other industry, the computer science was at the same level, at the same moment. So if you want to become the winner of the competitions, you have to invest more, to put more resource, allocate more resource to these industries. So that is, I think, reason why so many people, Chinese investors, Chinese businessmen, and Chinese government allocate too much, collaborate with the industry and allocate resource to that part, to the research. Yes.
Thank you very much.
No worries. My pleasure.
Can you conclude today's meeting with some sentences?
Well, we are in the age of artificial intelligence, and having said that, the conference gives people more ideas. One, we don't need to be afraid about that. We need to open our heart, open our mind to accept the new idea, new innovation, and new science. That is my conclusion. It's a very good conference at all, indeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now let's embrace the future. Now let's embrace the AI. And thank you for watching CGTN live streaming. I'm your reporter, Ge Binfei. Stay tuned at CGTN live streaming. We still have more behind later.